What's up, guys? Hang on. Alright, guys. I go by the name of Dr. Lacekickz, and welcome to Lacekickz IGTV. In Australia, if you are watching, you are more welcome to actually come and jump in and, you know, ask 5 questions to Johnny Kicks. And yes, before I get them in, I actually want to give a shout out to a couple of people out there. I want to give a shout out to my people in Canada, in Kicks We Trust. They've got a podcast, so make sure you guys check that out. And I want to give a shout out to my boy Sneaker Dads. He's doing his podcast as well. Make sure you guys check that out. And the people in US, I have my boy Kev back on City Soul. Make sure you guys check out his podcast. He's got a podcast named the Monday Midsole. So make sure you guys check that out as well. And my brother Cadillac Jackson he's actually doing the Talking Kicks. Make sure you guys check that out as well. Now, guys, for those who's actually supporting the Lacekickz Instagram, I want to thank you guys and all the people from Japan, Europe. Mad love for everyone, you know what I mean? So I will get my guys to come in, and you guys are more welcome to ask questions, like I said.
Oh. Hey, how are you, man?
Right, how are you?
I'm good. Hang on, I'm trying to get Johnny Kicks. Hang on.
Is that light do you want me to turn that light off? I just can't have my fluoros on, otherwise it makes the screen flicker.
Ah. Nah, should be alright. How you been?
Good, bro. Busy as, man. Very busy. Yourself?
Yeah, good. So what have you got on work?
Mainly soul swaps, to be honest. I'm booked out for the next 6 weeks. I've got maybe 20 soul swaps, 30 little repairs, patching, re-gluing here and there. And probably about 5 customs on the go at the moment as well. So my wait time's at about 6 weeks. Yeah, man.
Hang on. I'm just trying to get him in. Hang on. Oh yeah, you wanna are you going to that event? You wanna promote that before we start?
Oh yeah, man. There's put together by Kickcycle, a business out Western Sydney. He's very good, man. I've linked up with him. I sell some of his cleaning products, so wipes and deodorizers and whatnot. They've put together a basketball event, so 1-on-1, 3-on-3, and a 5-on-5 out in Marrickville, so inner West Sydney. Entries $20 if you want to go and watch the event. He's also having stalls and food trucks as well. So if you want to have a stall there to sell any kicks or products or network with anybody, a stall is $80. So if anyone's interested, cut off for the stalls is June 1st. Yeah, man, be good. Be a good event.
Right.
It's good. It's good to see people putting things together like this. It's really awesome.
Yeah. Well,
they're good games too, man. Go on.
Just saying.
Oh, sorry. I think something's playing in the background for me. Sorry, bro. I don't know what's. My bad.
Still trying to get him in. He's probably just getting ready. So for the people that's actually watching, that if you have any questions, you're more welcome to actually, put them up. Just put them down below and ask while we wait for Johnny Kicks. So what's your latest pair that you're working on?
I'm working on a few, so I've got about 4 soul swaps ready to go. I deconstructed them tonight, so just letting them dry out, and then I'll clean up the glue and get them stuck tomorrow. Working on a few at the moment. I'll show you a couple, nothing crazy.
I love this guy.
So this is one custom. This is a semi-bespoke, so I just took the swooshes off, chucked some turquoise on there. We're airbrushing a few different things on it as well here, and then putting on a grape and pink elephant print big reverse Travis Scott swoosh, and then changing it up around here to vintage, so aging the tongue and the top, and then the sole as well.
Wow.
So that's one. And working on these for Rodney O. Just started on them. I just started on them today. But it's going to be scale. They're the LeBron, what are they, 18s, I think? So kind of like a scale. So I'm making a dragon styles. I'm adding chains here. So like there's like a chain dragon on it. And then he wants a few of his own little thingies on there as well. A few golden touches. So it should be good. Yeah. Rodney O, bro. I grew up to that voice ever since I was a kid, man. It was a spin out to hear it in the shop. I was like, wow, there was people here to witness it.
Crazy. I still get.
What's new with you, brother?
Like, I'm just busy with everything pretty much. I'm actually designing a new tees because I'm actually planning to actually release some merch. I got some people, you know, asking me every time, so I gotta do it.
Excellent. That's cool. Are you gonna stock it or do like a drop shipping thing?
I think I'm gonna do a very limited drop for a bit.
Yeah. Perfect.
But I think I'm gonna do a separate one where you can have the US, you know, the actual worldwide shipping, and then have the Australia drop.
Wow. Excellent.
It's gonna be something special on the merch actually. That's why it took. It's taking a while.
That's it. Yeah, you can't rush these things. Make sure you get everything down. I think I rushed my first lot of teas, and then when I got it, I was just too excited doing it. Then when I got it, I picked it apart. I was like, oh no, this. But I grabbed the tea. Go on, sorry.
I think Johnny Kicks is getting his stuff ready to show. So he's got his new work. So you want to show us a few things before we actually wait for him?
Yeah. Man, I don't even think I've got too much in here. Everything's out the back, like drying and stuff, really. Pretty much, bro. Pretty much, I think just everything's out the back, like drying and prepping for tomorrow. I try not to keep it in here because I'm using like acetones and glues and everything. The fumes will build up and whatnot. So as soon as it's done, I'll run it out the back to dry. But I'll have a little look. Oh yeah, actually.
I know you do.
So this is going to be like a Kuji print biggie.
Yeah.
But it's going to be like stepping up. So that's going to say Biggie there. I'll let it stencil it out to Biggie. And then I'll fade that, do another one a bit bigger, fade that, and then a bit bigger. So it looks like it's saying Biggie stepping up kind of. And then same for the back. But then that's going to get sprayed with a black pigment, a black paint that stays black. But then once you step out in the sun, it'll disappear and then you'll see what's underneath it. So yeah, man, just try practicing around with different kind of paints and UV color changing and stuff like that.
Old costumes. What's up, old costumes? Does anybody have a question for me and Sneaker Genius here?
I'm not a genius.
I've been
haven't
very...
been enough of this. Sorry, man, I'm just going through the chat now.
Yeah, same here. While we're waiting for Johnny. Come on, Johnny.
Man, I was just speaking with Shoemaker today, another customizer in the US.
Yo.
Hey, bro, how are you?
Man, I'm good.
Morning.
Yeah, good morning. Anyways, good evening for you guys.
Yeah, man.
This is Sneaker Genius, and he's based in Australia. And me and him had a chat the other day because I was I was telling him how I'm gonna get you on live now, because he's doing the detailing shoes as well. So I
Okay.
thought, okay, he might as well come in with me and join us, and you know what I mean, like, because he's actually followed you a bit, so yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Nice to meet you. Yeah, nice to meet
Yeah,
you. That's
bro.
dope.
Yeah. It's been awesome, man. I love seeing your work, bro. Very inspiring, very inspiring. I love what you're doing, working with other customizers and getting their collabs out and stuff, and then watching your NFTs grow and artifacts and all that stuff. Bananas. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean it's my pleasure to be honest with you. I mean these guys give me strength. I mean for me it's like I surround myself with just amazing creatives and just to create dope shit for everyone. So I mean yeah, I'm blessed, honestly.
Yeah, cool. Excellent. What's been going on? Have you got anything new happening, or did you want to talk about NFTs? Or sorry, Lacey, I don't want to take over. I'm just
No, 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 no,
excited, bro.
no. This is why I got you on. This is why I got you on. Listen, I'm doing this for everyone. You know what I mean? I'm just not doing this for myself. Like, this is a community. Everybody should get involved. You know what I mean? That's what I'm here for. You know, and it's I'm lucky enough to be friends with Johnny. So, you know, you guys have a shot. That's why I want to get you guys involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean we are a community after all, so it's like,
Mm.
together we're strong. I always say,
And
build together.
let's hope to get him here soon.
Oh yeah, I know it. It's definitely in the plans, man. I'm gonna start traveling quite a bit here soon. It's just, obviously with this global stuff that's been going on for the last couple of years, it's just been a headache for everyone. So, but definitely have plans to travel international again here probably pretty soon. So,
It's been a while since we've seen you
yeah.
live. So what have you been cooking, as the sneaker genius asked?
Yeah, man. I've just been working on a whole bunch of stuff, man. It's crazy. I've been saying crazy busy. I do a lot of corporate contracts now that like, they've seen the ability to be able to create volume and create just massive amounts of products. So, for me, it's like I've been working on just like massive amounts of corporate contracts. And obviously, as you see, just dove deep into the NFT space, knowing that it's going to be the future of business and commerce and collecting and all this other stuff. It just made sense for me to like just dive in and just kind of be like a good example of like what's possible within the future of NFTs and collecting and connecting digital and physical worlds together, just to make it easier and better for every single person. Obviously with the technology that it's given us, it's amazing. So, but yeah, obviously continually working with customizers. I think I don't even know how many shoes I've released this year. It's probably well over 25 pairs probably. My goal was to release 52 pairs of shoes this year. I don't know if I'm going to hit that, but we've been cranking. So
Halfway there, and you're halfway there.
yeah, it's it's not even June yet, so let's keep going, right?
All right, that's excellent.
But just been working on a bunch of digital work too. I think the NFT space is just going to be one of those things that just expands over the next couple of years. But I'm more focused within the sneaker space and NFTs and the authentication and linking shoes to the blockchain and doing stuff like that. But obviously, you've seen with the artifact stuff and been cranking out a lot of the artifact stuff because they are going to be the future of Nike. So.
Definitely. I think anything I've learned about NFTs has just been from your lives. You dive deep and I love how you explain everything and you're not afraid for a question. It's awesome.
No, I mean, I think it's on us to educate the masses. I think, I've learned from, Ronnie Feig and Daniel Arsham and Virgil Abloh and all of these different guys that have basically been pioneers forever, right? Nicky Diamonds, Jeff Staples. I mean, all of these guys are basically making it a point to integrate all of this into their future of their business, right? These guys have always been the tastemakers of our generation, and they always see the trends 2, 3, 4 years ahead of everyone, and then they create cool, right? They create what's happening. And so for me, it's like I understand the technology being within the crypto space for the last few years, and what blockchain and smart contracts are going to do for just attaching ownership from digital and physical goods. So it makes value extreme when it comes to collecting, as well as artists being able to get royalties and actually own their art for the first time, allowing the people like the collectors really to be able to actually get truly authenticated goods. So I think, you know, that's where it's going to change. I think a lot of people see the profile pictures and see pictures and of apes and stuff like that, and they don't understand what it really means with like these smart contracts and the blockchain. That's all I view it as. It's software, right? It's a way to basically link an automatic authentication to any digital and physical good.
How do you see the two merging in the future, the digital and the physical, like the tangible shoe and the NFT or the blockchain? How do you see it coming about in the next 5 years, maybe?
Yeah, so I mean, I'll just take Artifact and Nike as a perfect example, right? So if you actually saw yesterday, they dropped an Air Force One photo, and it has a tiny little Artifact logo on the back side heel, and it's like a little lightning bolt, right? So I don't know if you saw it or not. I wonder if I can actually bring it up just so I can show you guys. But pretty much this is the start, right? So I don't know if you've seen any of the news with StockX and Nike and all the lawsuits and everything like that that's been going on with the authentication. I've been trying to tell people this for well over a year and a half, 2 years now, that I honestly believe well over 30% of shoes going through StockX are fake, right? And that's like a conservative number, right? And so what happens is a lot of these guys and a lot of these collectors are literally buying fake shoes, and they don't even know it, because we give trust into eBay authentication, StockX authentication, Goat authentication, right? But the people that are authenticating these shoes are authenticating 1,000 shoes a day, and they don't even have the real base shoes to understand what a real and a fake is, right? And then it also is not good for these companies to basically say 30% of their shit is fake, because then they got to deal with chargebacks, they got to deal with shipping it back, they don't get their actual profit from it. So it's like it behooves them to basically just say, fuck it, if it's fake, let's just say it's real, right? At the end of the day, there's no possible way of really knowing unless you're literally sitting there for like 20, 25 minutes and you have a guy that has every single one of the fake samples. Dealing with factories, there's a tier level of fakes, right? Even my shoes, I've had 4 of my shoes mass manufactured. Mass by over 100,000 units per custom that I've done, right? From fake factories, because they just saw my image and then they faked it, right? So the future of all of this, Nike sees it. They understand the majority of their shoes are basically being faked, and billions of dollars of resell is basically being paid, and they're not getting a single dollar from it, right? So not only they're going to basically implement these RFID chips embedded within the sneakers themselves to not only track every single pair, but then it'll actually be able to like track it on the blockchain, where it's like you can just put the shoe in front of your, I'm assuming this is how it's going to work. I'm not 100% sure, but pretty much you just stick it almost like when you go to a restaurant, you scan a QR code and the menu pops up, right? It's basically like, or you go into an Urban Necessities or something like that, and then like, you know, you want to find out the sizes and what they have in inventory. They just have the one shoe, you scan it, and then it opens up their website where it shows you, okay, we have this, 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 and this size. That's basically what's going to happen with Nike, where it's like, you're just going to open up your phone, you're going to put it in front of your camera, and it's going to open up to a blockchain smart contract. And it's going to tell you what number in the sequence it is, how many were produced in it, when it was produced, and how many times that shoe has been resold and for what price it's been resold for. So it's basically like an open, authenticated ledger for every single shoe. And whether you're in the NFT space or not, you're going to enter the NFT space through Nike, because they're going to attach a cryptographic token for every single shoe that they come out with. And this is going to be for apparel, sneakers, pretty much everything that they do, right? This is going to change the entire game. And then when you think about value for physical digital shoes or physical shoes in the future, right? You take the Chicago Off-White Jordan 1s, you take the Red Octobers, you take the Trophy Rooms. These things are being sold on StockX for $7,000 to $10,000, right? We don't even know if they're real. You could literally pay the $7,000 for a fake one because StockX told you it's real, right? Even though it's fake. So this is, imagine the value of these shoes when they're limited, and then you can actually automatically authenticate them through Nike. The value of these physical goods are going to skyrocket, right?
That's going to be crazy. The game
so the future,
So does that get rid of the whole industry of authenticating and stuff, and having to buy on eBay authenticators and StockX, and then is it like into the individual resale?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure what's going to end up happening is Nike's going to create their own, and everything's going to go through them. Right. So basically, if you actually look at what their business is doing right now, they're going direct to consumer, right? So basically what they're doing is they're pulling all of their contracts from Foot Locker to Finish Line to Champs to all of these different stores. So they don't have to ship. They don't have to deal with the logistics. Obviously, with the pandemic happening, with supply chain issues, with all this shit. I mean, they're going to be saving hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars on just like all of these supply chain issues, right? And so they're going to go direct to consumer, which is going to allow them to basically be more sustainable, be able to create more limited product, and then get the product into the actual consumer's hand instead of just having it go into the bot's hands or backdoor through stores. Because to be honest with you, as a guy who loves Nike, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna ask that. Like, would it be safe with the back doors and that now with that NFT thing? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, right? We'll be able to track every single transaction for every single shoe, right? So right now, what ends up happening is like they leave the factory, and they might not even leave the factory. I know store owners that'll literally pull up. Multiple store owners will pull up with U-Hauls into the back of factories, and they will just literally pay these factories or these store owners cash, and they will unload their entire inventory to resellers, which then put them in their stores or immediately list them on StockX or GOAT or eBay and resell them. And then that's why the resale price is where it's at. It's not being dictated by the actual company. It's being dictated by all of the resellers or computer programmers that are botting them off the websites, right? Yeah. And it's only a handful of people. Like, I legitimately know massive store owners in the US and all over the world and resellers. These guys are getting 60, 70, 80, 100, 150, 200 pairs of every single shoe every single week whenever they want it, right? And they're getting it. So it's, for us as collectors or people that just want to buy the shoe to wear it, this is going to be massive because I think they're going to tokenize the sneakers app too. I think they're going to literally make the sneakers app into an NFT where you literally hold it, and then they'll literally unlock stuff. They'll airdrop you stuff. Like, the longer you hold it, the more you hold it, the more you use, the more you interact. You'll unlock specialty goods and special collaborations. Because then you'll actually be able to like wear them and own them, right? But this is the beautiful thing about Artifact is like they're using digital representations for you to then in the future forge it for physical goods, right? So this is merging, right? So it's like with the NFT space, it's like there's different tiers, right? There's artists that are just artists. And then there's stuff with attaching physical goods to digital assets. And that's exactly what Nike's going to do. Everything is going to be owned as a digital asset, which you can wear in the metaverse as the metaverse gets built out. And so you'll be able to sell online as well as in real life. But then you'll also have that link to automatically authenticate it, which gives it so much more value.
Yeah. Do you ever see Artifacts coming out with a tangible shoe as well? So I think like all shoes matter. If you know, he might be halfway there, how he puts billboards in shoes and whatnot. Do you ever see Artifact coming out with something? How, if there ever is a material that can change and glow and whatnot?
No, they're absolutely going to. Give me 1 second. So I'll actually just show you straight up. So this is going to be their first forgeable shoe that they're going to be coming out with, because they actually just confirmed it last night that this will be forgeable, aka physical. So this is the Artifact Crypto Dunk, right? So this is the Genesis. There's only ever going to be 20,000 of this pair. This was actually airdropped to every clone. So I'm part of the Artifact clone system, right? So this was actually dropped to us via a monolith. And then they, when we unlocked the monolith, we got a second monolith box, this crypto shoe, and then a skin vial that will actually go right here. That's going to be a DNA changer, right? So all of these are made with digital flexible screens. That one shoe will be forgeable into thousands of shoes. So this one shoe right here, and I'm not going to lie, this right now is sitting at like 1.5 ETH, which is crazy. Because this thing right here is going to be worth tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars here in the future. The fact that it's sitting at like 2,000 or 3,000 is ridiculous. So this is going to be forgeable probably by the end of the year. And
my word.
So there's actually a video I'd love to actually show you guys, just so like it explains the shoe so perfectly that I can't RTFKT. Yeah, just so you guys.
Question.
Yeah.
The one that's actually watching that's got a question, make sure you guys ask away while we on live and while Johnny's here and our boy Sneaker Genius.
Man, we're keeping an eye on like the flexible OLED screens that they're working on and coming out. So it's been crossing my mind, man. And if that's the perfect company to be doing something bananas like that,
So yeah, just check this 1 minute video. It's this is pretty much going to explain it. This video gets me crazy jacked up, and like my heart like is like races every time I see it. So it's like this is the future of Nike and Artifact right here. Ready? So here we go.
Today, Artifact together with Nike Cryptokicks introduces the future of sneakers. Starting with the Artifact Nike Dunk Genesis, powered by DreamOS and Skin Vial Tech. Skin Vials allow you to change the look of the Artifact Nike Dunk Genesis or any compatible sneakers with limited edition skins. Created by legendary collaborators, artists, and the Artifact community. Loaded thousands of skins to a single pair of sneakers. Today, we start with Evo X.
That's crazy.
Collection.
Hairs on the back of my neck are standing up, man.
Evo of skins. Evo X powered skins files allow you to evolve your Artifact Nike Dunk Genesis sneaker and choose drip upgrades and powers. Which path will you choose for your evolutive skin as you journey into the Artifact ecosystem and unlock the future? The future is now.
That's wild.
I mean, it's this is the future, right? It's like you're basically being able to upgrade your shoes, like breed them, crossbreed them.
Yeah.
I got hair standing up everywhere. That is insane. That is insane, man.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
man. That's crazy.
So it's like when you see something like that, like this is going to be the future of Nike. And what's so crazy is like our entire industry is sleeping on this. Like every single person I talk to, no one even knows what this shit is, right? It's like 95% of sneakerheads don't even know the shoe exists, right? This shoe got dropped to us about 4 weeks ago. And it's like, this is what their future plan is. Basically the guys who are the three guys behind Artifact. I don't know if you know anything about them, but see, like Zapsio, right? He came from the custom sneaker realm and building social media platforms. Chris or Clegg, he basically came from custom sneakers, a 3D AR animation, and stuff like that. And then Benito came from gaming and fashion, right? So it's like they're basically molding the three worlds. And then they're basically, yeah, they're basically redefining the
one
future.
work, yeah.
Yeah, and so I don't know if you saw what they did this past week, but pretty much like a year ago, but quick thing, a year ago they had these space drip robots, right? And they let independent artists, anybody who wanted to, do a skin on them. And then the community decided on the best 19 designs, right? Then they took that design from the robot and they attached it to an Artifact sneaker, right? Which was then forgeable for a physical shoe. Now that they're acquired by Nike, those same 19 artists now just got their official Nike Air Force One Artifact shoe. So they upgraded it to an actual real Air Force One. These artists were independent artists ranging from the age of 13 to like 45 or something like that. Don't know the age cap. But that means there's a 13, 14-year-old kid out there that now has an official Nike Air Force One collab. Paris Hilton was one of those artists, right? So Paris Hilton now has her own Nike Air Force One, right? This is massive for guys like us, right? This is basically saying any independent artist now has an ability to get a collaboration with Artifact and Nike, not having to be somebody that's massively famous or somebody that's like a crazy designer. Like this is basically a community-driven effort where it's like they're bridging the gaps and democratizing design, where they're literally like, if you're a designer and you have a creative vision, tag us. And you have a possibility of getting one of these skin vials or getting one of these shoes to then release, or you're written into the smart contract where you get 50 cut of all sales, then 50% royalties forever, right? In alignment with Nike, where it's like, you don't sign an exclusive deal with Nike. You don't have to basically shut down your entire business and go work for Nike and then never be heard from. This is literally like, use our resources, use our platform, you design, and the community to decide. Yeah. And then you can literally get your own shoe, your own skin for your own like collaboration. I mean, it's so exciting. So for me, it's like seeing 19 independent artists. This is the first time in history, right? That any single person besides like a massively famous person or an athlete is getting a collaboration with Nike.
Yeah. And it's such a high cut, 50-50. If that's the actual cut, that's insane, man.
Now that is the actual cut. It is written in the contract that the artists themselves get 50% of everything, which is like massive. So yeah, for me, that's been my goal over the last, like, ever since this crypto dunk came out, I've designed well over 20 skins. I've basically been designing every single day, making sure that I design like a different crypto dunk, and because that is now my goal. My goal is to have my own Nike shoe. So
And
you
let's
just got to
hope
speak
you
it
will.
into existence.
Let's hope you will. You know what I mean? You
Um,
deserve it.
I think,
You
well,
work
I
so
think,
hard.
you have to almost speak these things into existence and put your work where your mouth is, right? It's like, for me, every single thing, for some reason, every single thing that I've told myself I want to do or have accomplished or have a dream, like, I've just chased it by literally working, and then it just comes true. So it's like, for me, I'm just like, this is another thing where I'm like, shit, they're telling me exactly what to do. Take our dunks, design, tag us, show it to us. And then it's like, all right, sounds good. I'm just going to do what I do every single day. I'm going to just design another shoe every single day. But this time I'm just going to add an extra one, which is the crypto dunk. And then, so I might have to work an extra hour or two a day. But at the end of the day, if that leads to me getting a Nike shoe or multiple Nike shoes or whatever it is, then it'll all be worth it at the end, for sure.
Man, it's like you've come back 10 times harder since you lost your IG account not that long ago. When you were at like 100-something thousand and they took it for whatever reason. And since then, it's like you've just came back and hit them hard.
Bro, that was through a PlayStation collaboration that they ended up shutting it down. It was with Travis PlayStations.
Yeah.
And it was funny because, like, I had released that shoe and there was nothing issue, and they took it down because it was actually a client's photo from the finished product that I posted, and they ended up shutting it down for trademark and IP infringement. But I learned, and I was like, yo, I gotta go. But with that, I started doing Twitter, which has been a good growing experience for me, because I realized I don't want to just be relying on one platform. So with that, everything's a learning experience. So it's like just seeing so many of the customizers getting shut down, because I've had a lot of my friends that are customizers get their shit shut down, like a lot. But Nike isn't messing around anymore. That's why you see John Geiger in lawsuits right now with Nike. And when he does lose, unfortunately, I think he's going to lose. And when he does lose, every other bootleg company in the world is going to get shut down, right? Yeah. So they're not messing around within the metaverse in the real world. They are taking everything in-house, and they're going to focus on blockchain contracts and basically using their product to authenticate everything.
Yeah. Do you think the bespoke guys will still be okay if they're like keeping the integrity of their brand to tear it apart and use that to rebuild, like yourself, kind of? And two-part question: you also having one foot in the door with Artifact and the tech and stuff. Do you see yourself getting your hands on early tech to build something yourself?
Sorry, what was the last part of that question?
So like how you're in with Artifact and how they're doing something tangible, do you ever see yourself, for how you're doing your Johnny's Kicks, do you see yourself getting a hold of any of that tech early to make a bespoke out of?
Yeah, we develop everything ourselves, right? So for me, it's like I just see what's happening. I'm like, all right, I need to reach out to factories, manufacturers, anybody I can to figure out like how we start sampling this stuff to make it, right? So it's all on us as independent makers. And I think that's why I've been kind of successful, is because I don't take no for an answer, and I literally will source anybody all over the world. Having relationships on almost every single continent, it helps a lot, because like I think with most people, the hardest part is making your vision come to light, right? It's getting that shit manufactured. So for me, it's like I see what they're doing, right? These digital flexible screens. This isn't anything new. I've known Zaptio for years now, and you've seen his IG. He was overlaying, these 3D animations and this AR stuff on shoes for the last 4 years, right? And now that he's with Nike, it was a perfect marriage, because now they have the tech, they have the manufacturing, they have the scalability to be able to make their vision come true. So now I'm saying, well, fuck it. If they're telling me you're going to be able to use our resources, our manufacturing, our company to grow your own by just being part of this ecosystem, all you have to do is create. And we're going to give you the files for it. Because like Artifact is basically planning on dropping us all the raw files for the clones, for the shoes, for everything. So all we have to do is open it into the software and just drop different materials and stuff like that. And then the community will decide on different community voted design contests. They already did it with the space pods that they dropped us, right? They dropped us like these living quarters, and they dropped the raw file for Blender to the community. And then they said, anyone create a skin for it. And they created the top 10 skins, and they haven't released it to us yet, but I think they're going to release them as NFTs. And then when they drop them, the artists of those skins are going to get set 50-50 royalties from when they actually do get dropped. Right.
Wow,
So this is what's so cool about the guys who created Artifact, is they literally came from our background. They were creators who wanted to have a collaboration with Nike and literally never had the possibility because they weren't celebrities. But now that they're part of Nike, they're like, no, the true creatives are the guys that are posting online every day, that are like just designing every day, and they don't ever get a chance. These board members print all of our stuff out, and they'll put them in the creative directors meetings and say, yo, this is kind of the direction we want to go. Now give those artists the actual opportunity to just drop the collaboration, right? And then give them their due credit, right? Without having to like put them in an exclusive contract and say like this and that. It's like that stifles creativity straight up. Like if you literally just say, okay, you have an exclusivity contract and you can't do anything but this. It's like,
yeah,
fine. Your inspiration is going to fall off a cliff. You know, for me, you know, with working for the shoe surgeon, he told me independence is everything. And for me, it's like, it makes sense because I get to work with like 1,000 different brands, and I get to put my own touch on every single one of their things without having to be just so reliant on one company. But it's like to be able to just design on anything and have anything made. Yeah, it's exciting.
That's cool. That's very cool. Oh man,
that's crazy, man. I just learned
I'm
something
still
from
blown.
you.
Still blown away, bro. I'm stumped. I'm literally stumped.
Actually, I
That's
wonder.
nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I think, let me see if I can read this kind of. Yeah, so Zaptio, right? So one of the creators, and this is he posted on Instagram the other day. It was like the space strip was a monumental project where the creators won. This is just a direct quote from him. I always wanted to express my creativity with sneakers, hence prior to the Artifact, I was deep into the custom sneaker scene. My goal was to enable artists to express their vision through sneakers as an artistic medium. Traditionally, landing a sneaker collab is very difficult and reserved for only the most acclaimed and notable creatives. Today, we made history by bringing 19 independent artists together to create their own space strip times Nike Air Force One signature sneaker. Removing barriers and democratizing footwear creation will allow the next wave of artists to bring new creativity and vision to the space. Artifact will empower the next generation of creatives backed by the blockchain.
Beautiful.
I mean, that gives me fucking goosebumps. Just knowing that it's like all of the guys that I work with on a day-to-day basis, every single one of these guys, right, their own creatives, and they all work in the sneaker space. We make Nikes and Jordan brand all day, every day, in the dreams and the hopes of maybe them seeing it or getting a collaboration. This just made it possible. So for us, I want to really inspire everyone to just start even thinking about what the future of Nike is through this blockchain stuff, right? Like this is the future of sneakers.
Man, I'm gonna have to step up my digital game. Where are we?
Or I mean, just at least just research Artifacts. I think the space is so broad that it's very hard for people to like kind of hone in and kind of understand what it is, unless you're like truly deep into it. But it's like, just kind of research and watch past videos and interviews and the thought process of what like the creators of Artifact are doing. Because now that they're linked with Nike, I honestly have a feeling that Nike is going to be like the Google or the Apple of the NFT space. Like it is going to own it. And every company that I talk to is basically waiting for what Artifact is doing so they can figure out the best way to enter the space.
Well,
and I'm sure they're going to make it a lot easier for other people to understand it.
Yeah, well, see, that is where we're in the transition period right now. The reason why a lot of people don't understand it and or even heard about this yet is because Nike hasn't done any marketing for it. And I believe it's because the price point is just outside the price range of like any normal person, right? And Nike's not going to put a lot of marketing dollars behind things that the majority of people just can't afford to buy, right? Because a lot of this stuff is $3, $4, $5, $15, $20, $30, $40,000, right? So it's like for most people, you know, they're not going to spend that. And so for Nike, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to start marketing it until they can get it to the masses. So like the 20,000 clones and these 20,000 crypto dunks, I think we're the guinea pigs or the experiment in exactly how it's going to work on a global scale. Because the community is based all over the world, literally on every single continent, right? And so they're like, okay, well, we can figure out these 20,000 shoes. We can have a forging event. We can get the physical goods to these 20,000, and we'll just see how like the supply chain works, and we can figure out all the logistics. And then once they figure that out and they grow it and grow it and grow it, it will reach a global scale where every single person is going to enter it. Because when you actually look at the patents for the crypto dunks, a lot of the patent writing was actually filed in 2019. Which was before NFTs were even known, right? And when you look at the time frame of when the the patents were filed, it was right in alignment when John Donahoe took over as CEO, right? If you guys don't know who John Donahoe is, right? He's like the CEO of Nike, but he came from being the president of eBay, right? And he's still a board member at PayPal, right? These companies are big into tech and blockchain, right? And so he was like, okay, well, shit, I'm just going to apply it to Nike. So it's like, yeah, even on the patents itself, I'll read, it's like when a customer buys a genuine pair of shoes, coincidentally known as kicks, a digital representation of a shoe may be generated, linked with the customer in an assigned cryptographic token where the digital shoe and cryptographic token collectively represent a crypto kick. It may be possible to breed or mash or collaborate two crypto kicks to create an offspring crypto kick known as a collabo kick. That is going to be crazy. Imagine if I get my own vial and then like Kaz has his own vial or Murakami has his own vial, and I can literally merge them to a one of one and then actually make it into a physical shoe. Imagine how limited some of these shoes are going to be. Because what's going to end up happening is we're not going to be collecting sneakers anymore. We're going to collect skin vials. And those skin vials will be NFTs where then you yourself as the customer will decide how long you want to hold them. Because you can collect all these different vials. Imagine if you collected 2 different vials from 2 different crazy artists that you loved, and then you literally just bred both of them together. One of one shoe that forges for a physical good. I mean, imagine what these things are going to go for in the real world. Like physical, tangible pairs. And Nike is going to set up their own store to do it, right? Like they're going to basically create their own StockX. They're going to have their own vault system. They're going to have their own stores. Like it's like through the digital platforms. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to be, but I mean,
it's worth the wait anyway. It's worth the wait, man.
But I don't think it's going to be that long. I think they'll probably push it earlier to change the game.
This is also yeah, go ahead.
No, I was waiting for it to exponentially grow like that as well. Like how tech in general, just over the last 10 years, just something will grab a hold of like a phone, then all of a sudden it explodes in tech. So I've been waiting for something like that with Kicks as well, man. And this is just, that's it. That's the ticket. That's the one.
I mean, yeah, it's like, you know how like a lot of people wear watches too, where they track their like movements, and like you have a lot of people wearing Fitbits or like different trackers for your health and stuff like that. So check this. This is also in the patent. Real world interaction of a user, e.g. running, increases number of good desirable qualities, increases speed of maturity, and virtual offspring, etc. Shoe cloning and allowing an owner to set a total number of clones that can be produced from a desirable offspring for actual real world production. So pretty much what they're going to do is they're going to, with these RFID chips, they're going to be able to track your movement within the shoes, which will then unlock special things. So they're actually going to incentivize people to wear their shoes, to use their shoes, to run in their shoes. And then literally you will unlock limited stuff while using their shoes. So they're actually going to incentivize you to get out and run. They're going to incentivize you to go out and work out. They're going to incentivize you to not keep them in a box in your closet and just stare at them, right? This is also a massive game changer, knowing that they're going to like be tracking it like through movement.
Insane. Absolutely insane, man.
This is also that no one's thinking about. And this is all Nike patents filed in 2019. And what's so funny too, because when you actually look at these patents, right, you notice, let me see here, what shoe is on the bottom of this patent? That's a Jordan 3.
Oh no.
So imagine when these are all digital flexible screens that literally, like when the Jordan 1 comes out, the Jordan 3 comes out, the Jordan 4 comes out, as flexible digital screens that will literally be able to change into a Murakami or a Kaz or a Johnny's Kicks or whatever else, the vial that you decide to make it as a forgeable shoe with.
That's cream.
talk about custom mixed with the like, you know, collaboration mixed with Nike. I mean, like we're really merging like gaming aesthetics and like almost like Fortnite. That's how I almost try to describe this shit. It's almost like Fortnite in a way where you go into a game, you buy skins, you buy different stuff to represent yourself, you wear it within the game. But what they're going to do is they're going to allow you to take all of those digital goods that you'll have in their metaverse, because they're creating their own metaverse too, right? So it's like with the clones, that's the whole start of it, right? Our 20,000 clones, we're all going to have representation of our own clones with full drip, with like hoodies, sweatpants, crypto dunks, everything like that. And so we'll be able to wear them within these metaverses and have meetings dripped out Nike shit. But then every single one of those pieces will be able to be forged for a physical limited good that will then be linked back to a blockchain contract that will literally be able to authenticate it. Everything. So even hoodies and stuff like that are going to be crazy, crazy limited. We'll be able to be scanned. Then like all of a sudden you got hoodies on secondary marketplaces, right? It's like, yeah, this shit is, yeah.
How long till hoodies follow the shoes, you reckon?
Oh, the apparel's probably coming soon. I know they already teased one hoodie. And it's crazy because, I mean, even with that, I think it's going to have gaming mechanics on it too, because they have actual like targets on the sleeves. And what I'm pretty sure what that means is it's going to basically be able to read it almost like a game, right? How you go into a video game to like when you're a character in a game, they put all those green dots all over you to like do motion capture. I think that's what's going to happen with these hoodies, where they're going to literally be able to see where you're right. Yeah, well, we're going to be able to represent our characters and our clones at, like, in the very near future, when we have these conversations, I'll have my clone head, like as an AR filter. I'll have a Nike hoodie. Like I'll be representing like my own like avatar in a way through these conversations. And it'll probably happen within the next 12 to 48 months. Whereas like you're already seeing it with Bored Ape, you're seeing it with Clone X, you're seeing it with a few others, but it's like, yeah, our online identities are probably going to become more valuable than physical in a way, because we are spending so much time within digital screens and meetings and all this other stuff. Like I live in an apartment here, right? And it's like, but 99% of my business is through FaceTime conversations. So when we're able to actually enter the metaverse into living quarters and different rooms, and then have our full bodies dripped out in our full avatar bodies, like it's already happening within the metaverse. Like when you go on Meta and you go on to these different metaverses and stuff like that, they're already built out, but it's just going to exponentially grow.
Wow.
But yeah, the sneaker thing is super exciting to me, you know, just from authentication purposes.
That's crazy, man.
That is, man. It's been stagnant for a while, and then I feel like the resale even killed that stagnant even more. Like it's just been, like besides like the customs and bespoke and stuff, and like the collabs that they've been doing, it's been like, bro, I haven't copped since June, July last year, man. Like 11 months, 10 months, I haven't been able to cop. It's been ugly, man.
Yeah, it's been like that for me. It's been a long time. I mean, you guys, I mean, I live in the US, right? The shoes are the most available here. I still can't get shoes.
Yeah.
And I know all the resellers. I mean, yeah, I refuse to pay resale, right? So it's like, I think that's a big thing. It's like, I got to the point where I was like, I'm just going to create what I can't have. Yeah. But
can you back your any artifact shoes to us?
Yeah, so this thing right here. This mark right here, that's going to be the mark that you're going to see. Basically, you just scan that right there. It's like, this is one of the creators of Artifact. It's like, if you've noticed, there's a mysterious logo, Space Strip Sneakers. We are continuing to evolve to bridge the gap of digital and physical. Authentication of physical product will never be the same again. So this is right here going to be our saving grace for collectors. Right here. Like this is going to change. This is going to change like so much for the secondary market and shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I've just seen so many people get screwed over. Like so screwed over, you know, spending $2,000-$3,000 on a shoe, you know, holding it, you know, getting it from StockX, saying that's authenticated, and then maybe, you know, 5, 6, 7 weeks later they need capital, right? And so they're like, shit, I didn't wear this shoe, I'm just gonna resell it back. And then they sell it back on the same platform and they say, no, it's fake. It's like, wait. I bought this from you for $3,000 5 weeks ago and you said it was real. Now I'm sending you the same shoe that I haven't even worn yet and you're telling me it's fake, right? That is happening to thousands of people. Yeah, right. That's not good, right? So it's like, as a guy who's in the collecting space and stuff like that, I'm just like, I'm most people just weren't even aware of it until these lawsuits started coming out. But I, you know, having these relationships with these factories and everything like that, and knowing how limited Nike shoes are, these factories are making better quality shoes than Nike because they have to compete with them, right, on a global scale. So they care more, and they're, you know, some of these samples for these are crazy good, like better than Nike, like I said. And then they're producing 1,000 times more volume because they're like, shit, the Dior, right? The Dior is super limited. They knew it was gonna be thousands of dollars, and so like, fuck it, dude. They're only gonna release how many? 8,500 pairs or something like that. We'll make 85,000 pairs. We'll make 850,000 pairs, and we'll release them. And then the majority of people are like, shit, I can get the Dior for $185 off this site. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that, right? And then every single thing is flooded. Everything is flooded with fakes. And then no one, because the fakes are so good, these companies don't even know if they're real or fake. And then you're buying these things, and you're like, well, shit, yeah, StockX said it was real, so it must be real.
That's true.
Majority of the customs that I get in, they'll send them straight. So they'll order from Nike or Foot Locker or wherever, and they'll get them sent straight to me. The quality control on Nike's garbage, man. Like you were saying, like some of the UAs are better than them. Like probably on average, I'll spend maybe 15, 20 minutes a pair before I do anything to a custom, just cleaning up all the glue that's halfway up the panels. It's pretty terrible, man.
Yeah. I mean, when you really see, I think when you have in the inside look, right? I mean, most people just will never be in that position to really see the inside look of factories and like really understand, like, there's multiple tiers of every single shoe for a fake, from like the worst of the worst to the best, right? And everything in between for every single shoe. It's crazy. Like the money is there. I mean, these factories are making more than Nike off of Nike shoes. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was hearing that Nike only make like maybe 20, 30 US a pair at the end of the day, what they're paying like the NBA stars and whoever else in marketing and whatnot. Apparently they're only pocketing maybe 30 a pair on average. Yeah,
I mean, I think Nike spends $10 billion a year on just athletes and sponsorship deals. So yeah, I mean, but I think they're going to save a shit ton of money, honestly, when they start going direct to consumer. Because I think about the hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars I spent just on like shipping everything, like from, you know, every single Foot Locker, Champs, and Finish Line, and Dick's, and Hibbards, and Models, and all of these stores all over the world. When they take them all out of all of those stores, because they will, it's like, and they're going to just go direct to consumer. They have their own online platform where that's why, I mean, this whole COVID thing almost changed and propelled tech 10 years forward, right? And then that's where everyone's thinking, because it just makes sense. And then for the end consumer, honestly, this is going to actually give people, I think, an opportunity to finally actually get their shoes. You know, because that's the biggest frustration for me, is because I love Nike, I love Jordan, and I can't get their shoes. As much as I try, I can't get them.
Crazy.
So I have to literally pay resale for base shoes to then make the shoe that I want to make, that like have, right? It's like, it's really frustrating.
I've learned something tonight. Thank you, Johnny.
Right. I'm going to lose sleep tonight. Like, I'm literally going to be daydreaming about this.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, man. It's it's exciting times, bro.
Absolutely.
Good to actually have you back on. But
Yeah.
it's a learning thing, you know.
I mean, for me, I didn't know anything about this. I didn't know anything about NFTs this time last year. Nothing, right? And since then, I created my own project, launched my own project, literally, and deep into the artifact system, creating stuff for them. Like, it's just taking the time to learn. But I understand how important this is going to be for the future, right? It's like, if it doesn't really affect you, or like, I never want to say you have to learn this, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm just the guy that wants to just educate people and say, this is going to be a thing in the future, just like the internet was, just like social media platforms are, just like this is the new wave, right? It's just, there's a lot of doubters and there's a lot of thought process, but at the end of the day, technology doesn't go backwards. So for me, and seeing a company like Nike acquire Artifact, which was the biggest NFT company, period, Nike just solidified themselves. I keep saying it, and I'll say it again. Nike won in this situation by acquiring Nike, Artifact, because Artifact was going to be a fucking massive player in the NFT space, and the fact that Nike was able to acquire them it blows my mind. Like, it really does. I was like, holy shit. Now it just excites me knowing that these guys were just obsessed with Nike and Jordan, and like knowing that they're like our same background, our same vision. Yeah, it's just exciting for every creative like maker that I know, customizer that I know, painter that I know, sculptor that I know. This is just opening the door for you to be able to like almost grow your platform by using their resources, by just
There
doing
you
what
go.
you do every single day.
For the people that's actually watching, you know, I hope you've learned something from him. Because I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is life-changing times right here. I mean, the technology was all dropped on humankind at the same time, right? And it's like those select few. I just think that this space is being born by artists and creatives, because the people in this space are the ones creating the visuals, right? I've never had more offers to be a creative director or like being hired for my art than ever. Like, it is nuts. I'm getting hit up on a daily basis to basically try to like get acquired by so many different companies just because I'm putting out my art. And they're like, shit, we know that this whole thing is derived from art and creativity. And it's like, the amount of people that have that, I've always said it, there's 90% consumers, 10% creatives, right? It's like the 10% create everything for the 90%. So it's like, if you have a creative vision, put it out there, right? Because yeah, just have a go.
Did you
Shoot
study?
your shot. Yeah.
Did you study design or art back in the day? Oh, sorry, bro. Did you study anything back in the day, or have you all been like a self-taught kind of guy?
Yeah, so I went to college for graphic design, and I didn't really use it. You know, I was a golf pro for like 8 years, working at a country club, teaching golf and stuff like that. And then, you know, I had a very, very unique opportunity to go work for the shoe surgeon out in LA. And then that just changed my entire life. Once I finally learned from the best and I got to see everything in the back end, I was like, dude, I can do this. I can do this with all my friends. And so that's when
he just opened up a new shop, didn't he?
he opened up a whole warehouse pretty much in downtown LA. So that was been his goal for the last like 5 years, because he was in a pretty shitty spot in downtown LA, a real bad spot in downtown LA. But like his whole goal was to expand to be able to get to this warehouse, and now he has everything under one roof. I mean, he's got a whole basketball court now. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was speaking to him before his birthday.
Yeah. Because he had that big ass birthday. Yeah, right. At the place. I'm just hella proud to see the growth of what he's been able to do, because like seeing what his vision was for very long, and then, you know, with the team around him with Dallas and Bimbo, like this guy's a silent partner within the shoe surgeon that is, you know, integral part of the growth. And I give him a lot of credit because what he's able to do. And honestly, the Gucci campaign, that was one of those things I was just like, this is the stuff that jacks me up, because I'm like, dude, this guy's what we do. He is a customizer, and he got a Gucci campaign, which means anything is possible. I love having these guys in the industry saying, like, just showing every other person in our industry, like, yo, this is a possibility. And so for the NFT space, this is what I've taken it upon myself to say, you're an artist, you can now own your art for the first time. And you can actually let the people that support you own your art truly for the first time, right? This is life-changing for artists. And so for me, working with artists, like, I try to just say it. I don't want to be a preacher. I don't want to be this guy that's like, you know, oh God, this just guy's like a maxi for NFTs and everything like that. But I just understand the power of it for every single person, like for the software and the technology that is provided to us.
Listen, guys, I don't like to cut this short, but I have to go because of
okay, yeah.
But, I'm gonna say thank you both for coming in, and I've learned something. Again, I've learned something from you, and hopefully to get you back on. And you know, like I said, there's a lot of people here that like to watch you. And again, thank you very much for coming in.
Dude, I always appreciate you, man. I just love talking to people that have like-minded thoughts, you know. So, you know, I appreciate you always.
Man, thanks for dropping the bombs on us tonight, bro. That was awesome. I've still got goosebumps, bro. My hair's still in the back of my neck.
I'm still thinking about it.
Brother, this is it, man. We are now living in the future. We are now officially stamped living in the future.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, guys.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, man. I hope you guys have a good night. And yeah, anytime you want to reconnect, I'm here.
There you go, guys.
Legend. Thanks, James. Peace.
Australia, I gotta say I have learned something from there, and wanna give a shout out to Johnny Kicks and to Sneaker Genius for actually coming in. Australia, good night. I'll be coming on tomorrow, and I wanna explain a few things because there's a giveaway that's coming out. So good night, Australia, and to everyone watching. Love you guys.